when you're authentic and you step into your highest self, your most shining self, you are going to trigger people. You're going to trigger people who don't have the balls to do what you're doing. And that has nothing to do with you. Hey guys, Nico here. So I wanted to talk today about how to be yourself regardless of who is in the room. So today I decided to put on some nice sparkling makeup and golden eyelashes, and I'm going to see my mom. I'm already with her dogs, but she hasn't seen me yet. And normally she criticizes me when I dress up, when I doll myself up. She tells me that I'm too this, that I'm too that, that I'm too much, whatever. And she's just projecting her own insecurities over me, and I just decided, fuck it, you know? I'm gonna be myself and I'm gonna wear whatever the fuck I want. Fit check. I'm gonna wear whatever the fuck I want and just let her be triggered. Let her sit in her own shame and inadequacy that she's projecting onto me. You know, once upon a time, I was a massive people pleaser. I'm still recovering from that shit in some ways, but I used to be a massive people pleaser and I couldn't be myself in a room. I would kind of mold and shift and shape-shift myself depending on who was there and what I was doing. And you know, I still think that it's kind of normal and natural for us to do that because we have different parts of us that come out with different people. Like, we're not gonna laugh with our mom like we do with our best friend, you know? We're not gonna have the same parts of us come out at work that are keeping us safe and professional as we do with our friends, right? It's all going to look different depending on who we are with. And that's okay to an extent, but the problem happens when you don't even know who you are anymore because you're molding yourself to what other people want of you. And you know, you're like, before going out, instead of choosing clothes that please you, that you really resonate with and that you love, you think about who's gonna be at the function and how can I impress them and that person, instead of thinking about what do I want to wear, how do I want to carry myself today, what is going to make me happy, right? You start to think about how can I please that other person, how can I impress that other person. And this is bullshit thinking, because you're never going to be able to impress people in the way that you think, because everybody has a different idea in their head of what perfection looks like. They all kind of want to live up to different ideals, and you know, everybody's sense of style is different. Like, for example, this is so embarrassing, but I remember when I was at college, I had a crush on a guy that later became my boyfriend, and he's now my ex. I came to college thinking about impressing him by wearing like leggings that were really showing my butt. This is super embarrassing, y'all, but I've never even admitted this to anyone, to be honest. But basically, later on, I found that when we were together, that he didn't like that at all, because he was brought up in Paris and France, and he felt that it wasn't classy. So you see, something that I thought that would impress him just didn't impress him at all. And if I had just decided to be myself and wear what I like, I would be radiating, I would be happy, I would be shining, and that would come across to other people around me, and they would perceive me as glowing, as beautiful, because I am filling up my own cup. And if you try to mold yourself and your style to who's around, and who is gonna think what of you. You're constantly living in other people's heads, and you're giving them power. You're giving your power away to people that shouldn't have it. You're not in your own frame, so to speak. You're not grounded in your own body. You're in your head, living in other people's heads. And what that's gonna do to your energy is it's gonna make you the opposite of magnetic. It's gonna make you like repulsive, actually, because it's going to come across as performative, right? I see these girls at the mall while I was coming here. I saw these girls at the mall who are like wearing what is that brand called? Juicy. These tight juicy pants with like a cropped, like one of those pink tracksuits. Oh yeah, tracksuits. And they have these like tight little handbags, and their lips all like glossed up, and they're like sucking their stomachs in, and you can tell that this is not them. It's like performative. They're performing an idea of what they believe beauty or attractiveness looks like to other people. If they were authentic, if they were really to go within and find their true authentic selves, their style would probably look a lot different. Or maybe it would be the same. I don't know. Maybe I'm judging. Maybe I'm projecting. But I just see this a lot with girls, and I know because I used to do that too. I used to perform. It's like, why do you need to mold yourself to all these artificial standards? Like, society says big lips are in now. Okay, I'm gonna go get fillers. Like, society says big eyebrows are in. Okay, I'm gonna get my eyebrows microneedled because I so desperately need to look a certain way, and anything else is unattractive. But if you were to go back into the 1920s, you'd see thin eyebrows be in. So it's like so confusing. Like, what do you want us to be, like, make up your mind, society, Do you want us to have fake eyebrows or thin eyebrows? Or do you want us to be really thin and skinny and like have a tight little butt like in the 2000s? Or do you want us to be like Kim Kardashian's now and like have a big butt? Like, make up your damn mind, like it doesn't make any sense. This is why beauty standards don't make any sense, because right now I could be perceived like as pretty in one country. I could go to Japan and people could be like, oh my gosh, she's like a doll, her lips are so tiny, like she's so tiny, she's so small, she's so cute, da 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 da. And then I could go to America and they'll be like, oh, she's average, like she needs to get Botox and like pump up her lips, and like, yeah, it's just mind fuck. This is all bullshit. This is all shit brain. This kind of thinking, it's shit brain. So what I would suggest to everybody watching this is to just create your own standard of beauty. Like, feel into what it is that feels authentic to you, that you love, and fucking let your freak flag fly. Don't like adjust yourself to what everybody else wants you to be, to what your mom thinks is attractive, to what your dad is like telling you can't or can wear, like no, stop adjusting yourself and go within and find what it is that you love genuinely, that brings you joy. You don't want to be adjusting yourself, because if you start doing that, you're not even gonna know who you are anymore. And two, you're not gonna be magnetic, because magnetic people are also repulsive. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm okay with that, because the people that I am a cup of tea of fucking love me, right? There's a quote that says, liked by everybody, loved by no one. If you try to be liked by everybody, you're gonna be loved by no one. Like, if you want to be super popular and you want to be loved by all these people, you're gonna just end up being bland. I'm sorry to say this, but you're gonna be bland. You're not gonna have a flavor. You're not gonna have that kick, that zest that the right people would gravitate to and be like, shit, like, I like that zest. I really like that weirdness about this person. But if you don't let your weirdness come out, those people can't find you. The message here is, be so disgustingly yourself that you trigger other people with your light. Trigger those people who don't feel like they can be themselves. Because you know what? You give them permission to be themselves too by being yourself. And if you dim your light down to please them, to please other people, because that's how you think you're gonna get love, you're not actually getting love, because those people are loving a fake, contrived version of you. They're not loving the real you. So what's the point? Might as well shine your light and be yourself. So pretty here. Now, as for the story with my mom, I used to do this thing where whenever I went to see her, I would do very minimal makeup, put on dull, dark clothes that she's less likely to criticize, dim myself down and not really show my full style and how I really like to dress. Here's the thing though, if I'm not myself and I'm molding myself to what my mom wants to see, that's not good for anybody, because they're not getting that permission to be themselves too. And I am enabling their inability to be themselves by not being myself. And if I am myself, I give her permission to shine her light and be herself too. Somebody who is stuck in their own patterns of shame and inability to be themselves is always going to project onto you, especially as a daughter, because you represent something within them, like unrealized potential. So they're always going to be triggered, no matter what you do or don't do. Might as well be yourself, right? Being yourself and shining your light is a public service. Nobody benefits from you pleasing them and dimming yourself down. You might want to think that by shutting yourself down and pleasing other people, you are somehow doing them a service, but you're not. They might get a temporary high from the fact that, you know, this person is catering to my needs and they're not triggering me, but in the long term, it's actually a huge disservice because you're preventing their growth. If you don't trigger somebody, you're actually preventing them from growing into the best version of themselves. Like, this is such a hot take, but I think that triggering people is good when it comes from you being your authentic self, that is. Not going around and triggering people for no damn reason just to be an asshole. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about when you're authentic and you step into your highest self, your most shining self, you are going to trigger people. You're going to trigger people who don't have the balls to do what you're doing. And that has nothing to do with you. And it's okay that they're gonna be triggered. This is just part of the path. That's why so many people are scared of content creation, because they're scared to be polarizing. I include myself amongst those people because I'm still not as fully polarizing and fully myself as I would like to be. But I am doing the work to step into that. Anyway, the point is that most people never do this kind of work because they are afraid of tension. They are afraid of what people are going to say if they are just themselves, you know? You can't please everybody though. Not everyone is going to like my opinions. Not everybody is going to like me. Not everybody's going to like the way I look. Not everybody's going to like the way I speak. And, you know, that's okay. I am not for those people. You kind of have to come to a point in your people-pleasing journey where you realize that it's okay if not everybody likes me. You know, it's actually safe. It's okay. I feel safe in my body to be myself and to be disliked. That's kind of an affirmation that you can tell yourself, that it is safe for you to be disliked. And now it's harder when it comes to our own parents, of course, because, you know, we need them and we need their love and we fight for their approval so much, and it really hurts when they don't accept us as we are. We're born into families that honestly would rather want us to be like a mini them or some kind of version that makes them feel better about themselves. But our mission here is to not dim our fucking lights. Our job is to not dim our lights. Look at this guy. Yeah, he knows. Oh, oh shit. Oh shit. We got beef, fam. And to keep being ourselves. Not so that our family one day suddenly accepts us, but just for our own sake, you know? Just for my own internal peace. Knowing that I came here wearing my makeup exactly as I felt was authentic to me. And I came dressed exactly as I wanted to and not as somebody would feel comfortable with. Have you ever thought about how you can be yourself around animals? But when another person comes into the room, you like immediately mold yourself to what this person wants you to behave like. Like your posture shifts all of a sudden, and if you are doing something embarrassing, you stop doing it, you know? And we go through this process of domestication. Like, we become like domesticated animals and we stop being natural. You know, as children we were natural. We like picked our nose and we wiped our snot on our sleeves, and we didn't care about these social things that we get taught into. And you know, some of these things are okay. They don't really cause any harm, but other things stray us so far from our true authentic nature that we become diseased in our minds. Like, maybe it's okay that, you know, our parents taught us not to wipe our snot into our sleeves, but when it comes to things like be nice, be a good girl, be a good boy, you know, be polite, it can go too far. We get put into these really tight boxes that our parents and our society think is acceptable, and we lose things like being able to move and dance in a natural way because now it's embarrassing, now it's gay, now it's like, you know, not being a good girl anymore because now you're shaking ass. Like, you know, like for example with me, I might my authentic nature might be to put on makeup and glitter and doll myself up, but I was born into a family that doesn't celebrate that, you know, and that punishes that, makes it not okay for whatever damn reason. And our expression gets dimmed down, our inner child gets put down, and we lose ourselves. We lose our spark, we lose our originality that we came in here with, and we start to perform what we think is attractive. Like, I guarantee you, if you get rid of the shit in your wardrobe that is cluttering your life up, that you don't actually resonate with, that you just bought because you wanted to buy this tight top because this girl had it, this influencer had it. I guarantee you, if you get rid of those items that you don't actually authentically resonate with, you're gonna be 10% happier at least. And magnetize things to you a lot better. Now, why does it make you more magnetic if you just simply switch your wardrobe? How could that possibly work, Nico? Because when you're inauthentic, you're going to be attracting other inauthentic people, places, things, circumstances to you. If you're approaching manifestation from a space of inauthenticity, and you don't actually sit down and think about what is my actual heart's desire, who am I really, versus what did society want me to be. Am I just getting this thing because I think it's going to impress somebody else? And if you are, that manifestation is never going to be truly satisfying, because it's not for you, and you'll have to find out the hard way. And if you come into your authenticity and start with something as simple as your clothes, magic happens. People pleasing is never gonna get you what you want. Now, if you want to please people from an authentic place, and you're like, yeah, I want to serve this person, I want to help them genuinely, then fucking do it. That's authenticity. That's not people pleasing. People pleasing is when you're so stuck in just being a freaking servant to this person and catering yourself, your thoughts, your clothes, your behaviors and actions to society and the people in your social circle and your parents, to the point where you lose yourself. I created this mantra recently that says, no roses without thorns, no cats without claws, and no Nico without boundaries. This is true because without boundaries, there is no you. Boundaries tell the universe and other people what you are, what you specifically like and don't like. And if you have no boundaries and you're just kind of floating about doing what other people want you to and just taking things as they are, you're not a conscious creator. You're letting other people in your reality dictate your life, and you're letting other people dictate your fate, and who you are and what you will tolerate is up to them, not to you. That is not magnetic. It's not going to magnetize what you want into your life. And worse, if you don't even know what you want in the first place, get in touch with what you want. The reason why it's so hard for people pleasers to set boundaries is because they've been conditioned into the false belief that they are not worthy of even having boundaries. Their self-worth is down here, and they believe that other people are more worthy than them. So they cater to other people. And, you know, that's what your parents wanted of you. It's not authentic to you. And especially if you're a girl, if you're a woman, this is especially important for you to know, because, girl, without boundaries, you're just gonna get walked all over by the man in your life. And believe it or not, they actually want you to have boundaries. But, you know, if you've grown up in an environment where that wasn't allowed and you were seen as too much, or maybe a princess in a kind of negative way, oh, you're such a princess, you should do this and that, then you grow up believing that you're not worthy of receiving, that it's not okay to have boundaries and to receive. But that's a sad, sad travesty. You don't want that. Back in the day where I was really deep in my people-pleasing era, I remember going to work and trying to be friends with these people that I thought were cool, right? And I felt like if I molded myself to what they want me to be, they would like me. But that's exactly the opposite of what cool people are. Cool people don't give a fuck if anybody likes them or not. Cool people are just themselves, right? I remember having this needy energy of like, please be my friend, please be my friend. But needy energy is actually very repulsive. When you're detached, you're much more magnetic. I didn't actually authentically resonate with them. I just kind of thought they were cool. And that's why I wanted to hang out. And because I didn't have many friends at that time, so I had this more needy energy that was repulsive to them. And guess what? Did they want to be my friends? No, they didn't. I was chasing people who didn't even resonate with the authentic me, that I didn't resonate with, just because of a scarcity mindset, because I was in a period of my life where friendships were a little bit harder. And then as soon as I detached and got into a mindset of there is always more available and I am not for everybody, guess what happened? I found the right people. So that's what happens when you embrace your authentic self, is that people just come to you, but you also have to be detached about it. You can't be needy. You can't put so much importance on it, like I'm not gonna be okay unless I find my tribe and my soul family. And then you hold yourself in such a way when you walk through the world, knowing that you can make friends anywhere you go, because the world is full of freaks and you're not alone in being a freak, and there is always a freak that will like your freak. If you don't shine your freak, you don't shine your weirdness, that's not going to happen. You're going to find people who just like the surface of you that you are presenting to the world, not the real you. And sure, you'll go around the world and maybe you'll make friends, but they won't be your real friends. It won't feel like a soul resonance. It will feel kind of hollow and empty. When you find people who really like you on a deep soul level, that's irreplaceable, man. It's a certain way to hold yourself, that you will be okay no matter where you go. Because you're worthy, you're okay, you're a good person, and you're worthy of making friends and of people liking you. And so you don't walk around with this doubt. You don't walk around with doubt, doubting whether you are good enough and trying to be something you're not. I'm gonna call this a day. Oh, look at this light. Isn't this like glorious? Peace and blessings. Blessings. Blessed be. Blessed be. Alright, bye guys.